Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon. It's actually afternoon already, and good evening for some of us. Welcome to our live discussion Monday with Michael William Aim from Canada and myself, Julie Nguyen from the USA. I'm glad that you are here. We're happy that you are here. We're so looking forward to this day, Monday, every week, because we get to sit together and talk about OnPassive as we all do every single day as well. I'm so glad that you are here and we're happy to see you here, your name. Hello, Michael. I hope you have had a really restful weekend and good morning so far.
Yes, I certainly had a great weekend and I am well rested and I'm excited and I'm happy to be here.
Absolutely. Me too. I'm always looking forward to Monday. Yes. Weekend has been great. Life has been great. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming here. We so glad to go ahead and kick off this discussion today. As you probably already seen, we wanted to talk about on passive, all in one place. And so we are always sitting down and thinking about the journey that we've been through, which is over 5 years. And for some of us, a few years, few months. But let's take it back a little bit at the very beginning from all of us when we first came into OnPassive. We understand that OnPassive is made a pledge for all of us from the very beginning. You come in, you pay a very small amount of fee back then for some of us who are early birds. OnPassive is going to build a digital marketing platform for us, right? What do? We come in and we actually watched that whole process, that whole developing of OnPassive. Um, and we can see the level of commitment, determination. We see the high performance from our team. We see and experience some of the beautiful revolutionary products, and then so much more. And then we get to actually see much more ahead than just a simple, or a complicated digital marketing platform. As we can see, now we are experiencing that OnPassive is much more than a digital marketing platform. There are so many avenues of information's technology are ahead of us. OnPassive has now created an automatic, completely done platform for all of us that we actually can use, to drive either manually or automatic to promote the ideas, the business that we have, a book, maybe if we are the authors. We could use OnPassive to do anything that we want in life. And the best part of it's everything that we're talking about today and on our previous sessions is all in one place. OnPassive now has become a movement, a revolution. OnPassive now has become a family for all of us. We get to connect, we get to bond with each other around the world. OnPassive is much greater and much bigger than a digital marketing platform from very beginning when we first came in on Passive Pledge. I'm so excited to talk about this, Michael, because at the very beginning, a lot of us, you've been here way before me, on Passive didn't have, the website. There's a vision at that time, and the people are in place. But now we've seen that in multiple layers, in multiple, so much greater. Let's talk about it. Let's just dive deep into OnPassive as we all have experienced in the past years, Michael.
Yeah, for sure. We've certainly expanded, right? The dream has expanded, the vision has expanded, the mission's expanded, the goals have expanded, you know, from way back then in summer of 2018 compared to where we are now, and that's a good thing, Julie. Initially, we would have helped a much smaller number of people, whereas now we can actually help everyone on this planet,
Mhm.
right? That's how OnPassive has evolved to the point where, yeah, we can truly say that yes, we can make a difference, you know, and that's a big deal, right? OnPassive will make people's lives easier, simpler, will provide more convenient way of doing business, and for all those people out there who have a business right now, OnPassive is going to help you, right? And for all those people who don't have a business, OnPassive is going to help you, right? So it doesn't matter what state a person find themselves in, OnPassive will be able to help. And we know the numbers, Julie. What we see promoted is the handful of people who are successful, right? I mean, it's funny when you think about it that you know for those who play basketball, everybody wants to be an NBA or a WNBA player, right? And yet it's just a handful of people. You know what I mean? When you think of the amount of people in the world that plays basketball, it's only a handful that are successful, right? Meaning to be able to make it to where they're actually getting paid for their sport, right? And the same can be said in entertainment, right? So many actors, actresses, that are out there. We see the same ones all the time. You know what I mean? It's the same one, all the big blockbuster movies. It's the same people, right? So again, just a handful of people who are successful. So when we look at the globe and the 8 billion people that's on this planet, how many people are actually successful? How many people are actually winning? How many people are actually, living life to its fullest? It's a handful of people, Julie, right? It's a tiny number, right? And so that means you've got billions of people on this planet that are in need. And guess what? OnPassive can help them.
Absolutely, absolutely. We are talking about all in one place. A lot of people who are not following on passive or have not been understanding of on passive process, what does that mean to you of all in one place? What all in one place? I mean, that is something a lot of people are asking. What is it? What is it all in one place? All the people in one place, all the tools. What is it? What does that mean, all in one place for people?
Yeah. So all in one place means exactly that. All, as in everything that you will need, right, to function on the internet, right? Anything to function on the internet, you're going to have it in OnPassive. People love to be on social media, no problem. We'll provide you a social media platform, right? Whereby you're going to be in a much safer environment, a cleaner environment, an ethical environment, a place where you don't have have an issue with your children going to, right? You know what I mean? Because right now, you know, some of these platforms, I certainly don't go on them. You know what I mean? But in OnPassive, you're going to have a safe environment, right? A secured environment, right? So that's social media, right? For people who want to, learning, advanced learning, getting a university degree, right? E-learning, right? Everything that you need on the internet, you'll be able to find it OnPassive. You have a business. Well, guess what? Every single business needs traffic, right? So you'll be able to find that within OnPassive as well, traffic for your business. Okay. You don't have a business. You want to be able to make extra income, right? Maybe you want a new career. You'll be able to find all of that in the one-stop shop, the one place. All in one place is what we're talking about, because everything that you'll need to function on the internet will be under the OnPassive umbrella, right? So that's what we mean when we're talking about all in one place. Uh, you won't have to go outside. Like, we said it many times, and I've used myself as the example that in order for me to do what I do, I still have to log in here and log in there and log in. So I have multiple places I have to log into in order to function online, right? And so wouldn't it be nice to have everything in one place? I have so many different email providers that I use. and multiple email accounts and so on. Wouldn't it be nice to have it all, one-stop shop? I just log into one place and I can access my email, I can access my social media, I can access traffic from my business and so on, and other tools. Oh, I need a domain name. Okay, I don't need to go outside of OnPassive, right? I log in, I'll be able to, purchase that and so on, right? Because I have multiple domains and all these different products and tools, Julie, that I use. I need to trim my links for marketing purposes, and again, so I use this particular provider. I do bulk mailing, so I use another one, Julie. Like so many different things. Like I literally have a sheet of paper that is full on both sides. You know what I mean? Of passwords and this and all these things that I have to keep track of. And obviously I keep it in multiple places because I like to back stuff up just in case, right? But the point is, it's so much easier and more convenient to just log into one site and then click, 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 like everything is there that I need. That's it's going to make things a lot easier and more convenient for people throughout their day.
Absolutely, Michael. What you're speaking right now takes me back to the five letters, right? The C.A.M.O, right?
Mhm.
At the very beginning, C.A.M.O was something that helped me to understand OnPassive. C.A.M.O is a seed of information for me to be able to understand what OnPassive so far. And C.A.M.O is only one piece of the puzzle in OnPassive. For some of you who are currently watching right now and may not understand what C.A.M.O is actually the five letters standing for a complete digital solution, right? That's a letter C. And A is automatically done, driven, AI power driven, right? And then what is the letter T? Letter T is standing for targeted traffic, right? In order for you to be able to drive targeted traffic, you have to have a complete digital solution, right? And what is M? M is very simple: money, earning revenue, right? In order for you to have the traffic, when your customer is making a purchase, you have money, you earn money, right? On passive is letter O, always over deliver. And to me, on passive is a circle. O is basically a circle. Everything is in one play in that circle. It takes one single sign on for you to access everything in that circle, in that letter O. And what is that letter O to me? Letter O right now representing on passive ecosystem, right? So if you are in on passive ecosystem, you can see that everything that we needed, the tools, the services that we needed, it's in that on passive ecosystem. Now, if you have been here for a while, you understand that on passive not only creating that digital marketing platform, but right now there's so much more. There's more avenues of things that are out there in on passive. If you have been paying attention, on passive has been in what they started infrastructures. Offices has been opening around the world, right? Infrastructures were introduced to us during the past 5 years. Events that on passive has been involved in the past 5 years. In 2023 only, events, there was over 100 events has been happening in OnPassive. Some that actually impacted the world, impacted the people that needed help, right? And then also, if we have paying attention, this partnerships has been formed. And if we really look into the partnerships that OnPassive has been involved, actually it takes us to other industry around also, Michael, not just the technology, the digital solution itself, but it goes into a lot of the industries around the world, and all of that is happening in on passive ecosystem.
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely. This is why we say on passive is for everyone, everywhere. right? There's no boundaries as far as what content we will have, what products we will have. If it's something that makes sense, we will have it. Whether you're able to monetize it in a positive way or not, right? That's not the focal point. The focal point is that if it makes sense, right? Is it something? Is there use to it? Is this going to provide value? And if that be the case, then we will have it. So a lot of businesses are struggling, Julie. Right? That's no secret, right? Not just in North America, but around the world. Right? A lot of businesses are struggling, which also means that a lot of individuals are struggling because individuals depend upon businesses. Okay, so it's a trickle effect, and so here comes OnPassive to say, hey, if we can help to stimulate the economy, right, then that's going to help businesses and it's going to help individuals, right? Again, interconnected, Julie, right? So your favorite word, right? So this is the beauty about OnPassive. Let's do something different. Let's do something that is going to revolutionize the way people do business, the way people interact, the way people communicate, right? The way people spend, their time and their money, right? And that's what OnPassive is doing. Everything has come together, in such a nice way that we're going to feel the impact. It's there, right? It's already done, but you need time for it to manifest, right? It's already done, right? We know this. We've experienced more than enough to see that is the case. And then when we start to reap those rewards, Julie, from being patient and letting the company do what the company has to do, that's going to go viral, right? The smile on people's faces is going to go viral because a lot of people are going to be happy because the world need something. There has to be a change, right? More and more companies, continue to just lay people off, right? And that's not a good thing. You know what I mean? And artificial intelligence, yes, it's here, but it's going to make people work smarter, not harder, right? That's what AI is going to do. It's going to help people to work. It's not going to replace everybody. That's not what it's there for. But if something is redundant, then okay, that needs to go. But it also open up opportunities for a lot more individuals. Okay, and OnPassive is at the forefront, with the latest AI technology. So all that is infused within our business. So what that means is that we just can't lose, Julie. Can't lose, right? If you're at the forefront of something, especially technology, okay, that is a winning formula. And OnPassive has all of that for all of us.
Absolutely. We're talking about businesses. I know for sure there's so many business you mentioned about, you know, people getting laid off because of everything that is happening in this world right now. I'm very sure a lot of business owners are looking for a place where they could reinvent the business models, their business models, right? um, Businesses right now need to find something that better, more updated, to actually help with their operational efficiency, right? There are businesses that looking for somehow somewhat to streamline the processes and also boost that productivity, right? There are businesses right now that looking for a place where customers can achieve a better client experience, where there are so many businesses out there that looking for that place. Talking about our product, on passive product, talking about our free products, not the paid one yet. Right now we're focusing on the free product, talking about OMAIL. You mentioned about your emails, how many emails you have to create, right? And then
Mhm.
you reach certain amount of storage, you're going to have to create another one, or you're going to have to pay for extra storage, right? Talking about social media, our product OCONNECT, right? I mean, talking about you have children, you get them exposed to social media. Talking about OTRIM, the products that actually help you to build the brand. How much would it cost, Michael? I know you're probably not in social, you're not in social media, but I'm very sure you've used email platform before, you've used branding website or shortener, you probably pay a lot of money to use those product.
Yeah, absolutely. A trim URL, right? So that's OnPassive's OTRIM. But if you take another company that's out there, some of them charge $300 a month, just to be able to shorten your links, right? So it just depends on what people are using. A bulk mailer, for example, to send email out, and we will have our own bulk mailer, right? But a bulk mailer, companies are charging a couple $100, $300-$400, a month. Again, depending on the size of your contact list and all these things, right? So it's can be costly because these things, they add up, right? It's not one thing, but it's the combination of all the different tools and products that you need in order to run a successful business, especially if you want to use automation within your business. And who wouldn't want to use automation? Why would you want to be, work and work and work if you don't have to? If you can use software programs, use technology to replace some of the tedious stuff that you do on a day-to-day basis, right? Why not? Right? It only makes sense. And so you can use software to personalize things, and get your brand out there, as you've mentioned. All that can be done, folks, today. Automation is a thing; it is real, and you need it in your business. And so it makes sense that OnPassive says, "Hey, if we can automate all of this, for our customers or users, why not?" Right? That's only giving them added value, right? People would rather be on the beach with their family, Julie, I think, than locked up inside some corporate boardroom or something, or in an office somewhere, in a factory somewhere. Well, I certainly know I would rather be on a beach, and you can be doing that while your business is still working for you, right? Think of the CEOs of companies, right? Okay, they're probably out on some golf course somewhere while you're there at work doing all the heavy lifting, right? And they're getting paid way more than you, and they're out there having fun while you're out there working, right? For the same company, So that's what we're talking about: being able to shake things up, flip things around, where you can be the CEO of your own company. So you could be out there on the golf course if that's your thing, but basically living life, Julie, not being lazy, but living life, right? Um, think of all the things, all the technology that we've had over the years that has made our life, somewhat more convenient. You know what I mean? When we think of cars, did we always have cars? You know what I mean? I'm sure a car helps you get to from A to B a lot faster, right? Than if you had to walk, if you had to use horse and buggy, you know what I mean? And then airplanes, right? So we always seem to create technology to make things more convenient for ourselves, and it makes sense, right? And the companies them who's at the forefront of these things, they're the ones, those are the names that we know, right? We know their names, okay? And that's what OnPassive is doing. OnPassive wants you to have your own business, okay? Whereby people will know your name, your brand. And that's a good thing, because branding is very, very important when it comes to marketing, right? So you want to make a lot of sales. If people know your brand and trust your brand, guess what? You will make a lot of sales, okay? And OnPassive is putting that all together for all of us.
Yeah, Michael, while you're talking, I'm actually thinking about how business owner could actually stay ahead of their competition, right? You go to, like here in California, they have a lot of drinking and desserts and snack shops, right? You got one place where they take the order, and then you have a place where they actually they call it, what do they call it, the merchant device, like where you swipe your cards,
Mhm.
and then there's another device over here. You have to enter your phone number to actually keeping that customer loyalty, right? What if
Mhm.
we could eliminate? I mean, I'm going a little bit of ahead of myself, but what if we could actually eliminate all of that and just one device where you actually can take payment, right? Where you actually can create that customer or client or customer loyalty. It's all in one place, and it's also it is a place where business owner can actually I know I'm staying way ahead of myself, but I'm thinking about uh, the entire OnPassive digital solution could help a business owner to help them stay ahead of their competitor, right? Because how OnPassive really streamlines all of those process, and it is all coming in together in one place, in that one circle.
Well, I mean, customers pay for a lot of fluff, right?
Hmm.
Customers pay for a lot of things that's not necessary, right? So if you can trim off all that's not necessary and just give people what it is that they need to perform the task that they're looking to do, then number one, it's going to cost you less, right? And number two, it's going to be far more efficient and effective. So that's the way to go, and that's what OnPassive is doing. OnPassive is not trying to just, well, let's just create this just for creating its sake. No, there has to be value, right? And so, and it's not what's in the company's mind, but customers have to see that value, right? They have to be able to experience it, and that's what makes a difference in having loyal customers, right? When you get a certain level of service from a company, right? You're going to be there for life, right? No matter what some other companies come in and tell you, and because sometimes you can't pay for customer service. You know what I mean? It's like the other day I pulled up and I was taking my daughter to what was it? McDonald's. Okay, and was it McDonald's? Yeah, I think it was. Oh, sorry, it was Burger King. Okay, and okay, don't hate me now. Okay, so taking her to Burger King, right? And this person was so um joyful. I'm like, wow. I'm like, okay. And I even said to her, I said, yeah, see, now that's how that's how you do it. That's customer service. It was so pleasant and nice and right. And then we went from there to go to McDonald's now for my other one, right? And so we got there, and this person was just like, I'm like, and I see, you see the difference? I was showing them the difference between the two customer service, right? This other one, like she felt like she wasn't even trying to be there at that job. She she didn't want to be there at all. Where the other person was so excited, Julie. And I'm like, what? Really? Like you're excited to be there at a drive-through, serving? Say, hey, that's great. But that's the difference. You know what I mean? And so you have that in other businesses, obviously, where sometimes you may get someone on the phone, you call your phone company or whatever, or you're at the bank and you're dealing with your advisor or whatever, you know what I mean? And just the level of service they give you, and you feel a connection, and it makes you want to come back, right? It makes you want to say, yeah, I want to continue doing business with this person or this company or whatever, based upon the experience that you've had. And that's what OnPassive is putting together, making sure that the experience that customers are going to have when they come, they're going to want to stay. That's why all we have to do is just get them into our ecosystem and let the ecosystem do its job. You know what I mean? Let us do its job. More products will come down the pipeline. More will be added to the ecosystem, right? And people will have their fill. They will pick and choose what they want, etc. It's a great concept. The model is just beautiful, right? And I love it, Julie. I really do.
I do too. I love it. And the more we talk about it, I think about other things that we could do also. I mean, look, on passive pledge that for us. But what does on passive want from us? Loyalty, right? Trustworthy, right? Um, Sitting here talking with you, I'm always comparing things, the nowadays and the later day, right? So let's pick out an author, okay? An author spend a lot of times, doing research, writing a book, right? And once they have that book, they have the publisher publishing it, but
Mhm.
the author himself or herself has to go and market that book. They have to go join on podcasts, book signing, all these things in order to have to bring that book right in front of the readers. It has to be the right readers too, not just any readers. You can't write a cookbook or a personal development book and put. I mean, you have to have the right readers actually to read that book. Now, you know where I'm going. I'm going right directly to targeted traffic, right? So let's just say this particular author is one of the founders users the product, and this particular author is in OnPassive ecosystem. Where is the traffic? I know you're best explaining this, Michael, so I'm leaving it, but you know where I am heading, right?
So, well, I hope I know where you're heading. um, right? What I mean when you think about it, right? And I think I get you, Julie. That if an author is writing a romance novel, right? Well, the best audience for that book is not people who enjoy cookbooks, you know what I mean, or people who like to read comic books. You know what I mean? Like you want to match the audience with the content, right? Whatever you're offering, you want to match that to the audience, people who are looking for just that, people who are interested in just that, right? That's what you want. And so in On Passive, all of a sudden now you have an author, and the author writes this book, right? On Passive will be the traffic, meaning that that author can place their book within the marketplace of On Passive, and others will be able to see it. And if that's something that they want, they'll be able to get it. You can create your own community within On Passive, right? So you can have a community of people who love romance novels, as an example, right? And so therefore you would place your book within that community, and so you're going to have people that are highly targeted, because you already know that they love romance novels. That's what that community was created for, right? If somebody has a cookbook, right, and so you create a community that focuses on cooking, right? Guess what? That's a highly targeted place to be able to display or offer your cookbook, because it's relevant. It's relevant to the people that's within that community, right? As opposed to, you just put something on Facebook, and it's not a particular group, so it's a run of the mill. You have any and anyone looking at it. That's not targeted, right? But if I can narrow that down to only people that's looking for my cookbook, then the chance of you making a sale is that much greater. It's a much higher probability, right, of making sales. And that's, at the end of the day, if you have a product that you're selling, that's the bottom line. You're trying to make sales, right? And so OnPassive will streamline the process for people to make it easier for them to be able to present whatever it is that they're offering, whether it's an individual product, whether it's a business, etc. They'll be able to streamline the process so that you're only getting targeted people who are interested in what you have to offer, that's looking at your offer. And that's going to be so much fun, just watching the process, Julie, just sitting back and then just enjoying it. Oh, I just checked my wallet, and okay, all right, thank you very much. There's another revenue just increased, right? That's a good thing, right? So there's so much use for our ecosystem, Julie. There really is. People right now that are buying their domain names from GoDaddy, right? Okay, give them an alternative. Okay, they will have an alternative in OnPassive, because we want to make sure that we have what everyone is looking for. One-stop shop, right? It's as simple as that.
Absolutely. It's beautiful. If you haven't looked at our website, onpassive.com, today there's new version of it's coming out. We know that every week there's new version of onpassive.com coming, right? When you are looking at a website, you don't want to look at the same thing every day, right? What OnPassive does is, if you have your own domain name, right, as JulieNguyen.AI, for example, or coolaihub.com, you're actually coming into that website, that place of that digital platform. You see the new version fresh every single day. And let's say if you have your own business, right? OnPassive is giving us the opportunity for all of us. If you have a dream of owning a business online, how much does it cost you to actually have your own website, your own domain name online, right? A lot of money. It takes a lot to build a dynamic website for people to go in and enjoy it. But in OnPassive, it's giving us a place where we actually creating a business. And on passive, Michael, is my primary business. Did I need to spend millions of dollars and have all these techie behind the scene build the website for me, build the content for me? No, that's my weak part. I can't do that on my own. But now being on passive ecosystem, I have an opportunity to build my primary business, and it is my primary business. I'm excited. I'm really grateful for being part of it. Michael, what about you? I know you've built so many businesses before, but is on passive your primary and the best in the last business?
Yes, yes, and yes. Right? Like, when we think of um, a business, right? And you think of, what you want to spend your time doing, right? Not because I want to have a business, mean that I want to spend a lot of time working, right? I don't think anyone does, right? People work because they have to work, right? Most people, like 99% of people, they work because they have to work, not because they want to, right? And so in building a business, right, I want to build it in such a way that it doesn't require a lot of my time and effort, right? That's what I would want, right? I would want it to be able to run 24 hours a day. You know what I mean? I don't want it to be just only when I'm available, my business is open, right? Like if you have a variety store, a corner store, right? That's business is only open when someone is there, right? To man the store, to be there to open the store, close the store, etc. Right? When you close that door and you're gone, your business is out of business.
Mhm.
Okay. Once those lights get shut, it's the door's locked. Okay, no one can come in and buy anything from you, right? Amazon is so successful because people can go buy 24 hours a day. It doesn't matter if it's 3 o'clock in the morning in California, you can go on Amazon and go buy whatever you want to buy, right? So I want a business like that, Julie. I want people to be able to come because, again, we're not all under one time zone. So when I'm sleeping at 2 in the morning, right? Someone could be in India, for example, they're awake, right? I want them to be able to go buy from my business, right? Someone that's in Australia, right? We're not on the same time zone. You know what I mean? So right around the clock, they're able to buy from my business, Julie, right? And people, I don't think people really grasp, how magnificent that is, right? Because if you're limited to 8 hours for the day, and this is your selling hours, 8 hours, okay, but what about there's 24 hours in a day, right? What about the other 16 hours? You know what I mean? So imagine if you sell 100 items in 8 hours. Well, if all things being equal, now you're able to sell 300 items in 24 hours, right? So isn't it better to be able to sell 300 items in a day versus 100 items? You know what I mean? So you can triple the amount of your productivity, right? Of your sales, right? Of your revenues. That makes a lot more sense to me, Julie. And that's why on passive makes sense, right? It's not the only business that you'll be able to sell around the clock. No. But guess what, though? It's automated so that you don't have to be there, right? And you don't have to hire someone to be there. You understand? The technology is there for us. The technology is there to be able to help us, as I said, while you're on the beach, while you're having dinner, while you're sleeping, whatever the case may be. You don't have to be physically there to watch over that business for it to work. In time past, Julie, prior to OnPassive, I worked a lot of hours because I was the admin for my business, right? So everything that came in, I answered all the questions and this, you know what I mean? I made things work. I made things, go. So when I'm on vacation, I'm actually still working, right? So it's not quite the same as when you're on vacation and you completely shut down everything. No, I still will sneak off and, get on the phone or go, get on the laptop or whatever, you know what I mean, and still get some stuff done and then come back to my family. How much better it is, Julie, or it will be when I can actually be there 100%. You know what I mean? Where my attention is there. That's quality time. So there's a difference. They may get the quantity prior to OnPassive, but because of OnPassive, now they're going to get the quality, right? It's a huge difference. You know what I mean? And that's just another benefit of being involved in this business.
Absolutely. Absolutely. When we're talking about all in one place, I'm going to go ahead and recap what we've talked about, all in one place, all in one OnPassive. What we have the uh, trustworthy, loyalty people working on behalf of us, right? High performant people are working on behalf of us, all in one place. You have all the tools and services that are revolutionary. You get to access to it. One simple single sign on, simple single sign on, right? You get access to all of that in one place. OnPassive is creating the entire automatic digital system where we all can get access to it. That is all in one place, right? All in one place. What also does that mean? You get partnership with other company, you get partnerships with other organizations, and you actually have all these products in one place that is hand-free, automatically done, that is authentic, that is ethical, and the people in OnPassive are with full integrity. That is what we call all in one place. And there's so much more. We can sit here and talking about what is all in one place. There's so much more that we can talk about, Michael. We should all excited.
People should be,
People,
because the reality, Julie, is that people have been trying for years. Okay, I know people who have been trying for 40 years. Okay, to succeed in a business, right? They've been trying. They've been, but they've been spinning their wheels. Why? Because most of these companies are not trying to help you, right? They're not. That's just the reality. They're not trying to help you. They're just there to make money for themselves, right? There's a difference in OnPassive. People paid one time to get involved, right? Like myself back in 2018. Here's my $97. Thank you very much, right? And what have I gained over the years from that? You see, people are always caught up in looking at their pocket. Well, I paid $97 and I've not made a dime. I've not made $10. I've not made, whatever. I've not physically received that. Like, people always focus on that. But there's so much. If people truly understand, how to be successful in life, they would appreciate the intangibles. You understand? Right? I sent a message out where I talked about, people having that extra oomph, if you want to call it that, Julie. You know what I mean? The personal growth, the development that people have had over the years. Because there are people out there teaching this stuff, and people are spending thousands of dollars on these courses and classes, Julie. You know what I mean? People come into OnPassive and they're getting this, and they walk away being a better person. You know what I mean? They walk away knowing how to, how to identify a good business. People have saved so much money by being involved in OnPassive, because whatever they spent in OnPassive. Whereas other people for the past 5 years have been spending money month after month after month, joining this, joining that, and all these things have disappeared on them. Here, we're still here, Julie. Like, we're still here since July of 2018. We're still here, right? And so when people look at that, like one guy said to me, "Oh, are you still in OnPassive?" And I was like, just shaking my head. I'm like, seriously? Of course I am. Where would I go? Do you have something that's better for me? Show it to me. They don't have anything to show me, Julie. You understand? Because they don't have something that is better, right? We could not do this on our own. We could not create all that has been created within OnPassive. We would not have all these relationships with these partners. We just wouldn't have all this stuff. We just wouldn't create these products on our own. Could you create OCONNECT? Would you be able to put together a team that can create it? We were just on OCONNECT just prior to coming here. So it's a real product, Julie. You understand me? So I'm saying all the value that people are receiving, but the problem is people have been so knocked over for so long, that they're damaged. You understand? Their mind is damaged. So they can't see something that makes sense to them because they're so used to what doesn't make sense. And what doesn't make sense is what they gravitate towards because someone promised you you're going to get rich overnight. Someone promised you 10% a month, 5% a month, 2% a day, blah, blah, blah. You understand? And people gravitate towards that. And they say, okay, yes, I'm good. But no, you want something that is real. You want something that makes sense. You want something that's going to be there year after year after year, right? And just like any real business, it takes time for that. And OnPassive is putting in the work. They've put in the work, Julie. They've put in the work. And we are seeing the results of all of that. And guess what? When everything starts to run smoothly now, that's when people are going to really appreciate it. But for those who have true vision, we already see it. We can see it all already, Julie. We don't have to wait till the money drop into our pocket to say, okay, yeah, there it is. You know what I mean? Because you've been in business where money drop in your pocket and that company's gone. they're disappeared already. You understand? So that doesn't make any sense to me. So I'm not going to judge it based upon what goes into my pocket. I'm looking at the value of the totality of the business and how it's going to make a difference in other people's lives, because that's what really matters. And that's why I'm so grateful for this company, Julie. OnPassive it's just the total package. This is what everyone wants and everyone needs. OnPassive is what everyone wants and everyone needs, even if they don't know the name, even if they don't know what they're looking for, but we've identified it, right? We have the solution that's going to help so many people worldwide.
Absolutely. We are OnPassive. OnPassive is the biggest part of our life nowadays. So it's time we need to shake off all the old mentality, all the old way of doing business, is the old way of thinking. It's time to shed all of that and continue to stay in the right track and heading to that wind directions that we always have been dreaming of, right? So yeah, it's good to talk about OnPassive, and it's good to soaking in with the information of OnPassive, because I believe it has already changed so many lives. Talking about Bless, right? How many times for all of us to be able to help someone, if we have a passion about change someone's life, how do we do that? Do we have an opportunity to do that? Bless, it's a non-profit platform where anyone could connect worldwide to support each other, to support a needy people around the world. There's so many people that needed that, right? So it is time to shake it all off. That old mentality, that old way of doing business, that old way of thinking, or that entitlement way of thinking. Let's shake it all off and start changing our mind to in terms of living with abundance, right? Living that total freedom, build that dream of having that total freedom. Total freedom is a personal freedom, total freedom of time, finance, total freedom of from all that in the past that's hard, that keeping us down. Let's just shake it all off and move forward. Let's go to the top, everyone.
The beauty, Julie, is that we all have a choice. We can choose to be listening right now. We can choose to be somewhere else. We can choose to be in OnPassive. We can choose not to be in OnPassive. You know what I mean? So I love to have a choice. And so I've made the choice to be here, and I've made the choice to stay here, right? Because I know what is good. Right? I know what is good. And so we all have that choice that we can make for ourselves. I would rather make a choice to leave, Julie, than stay and complain. Like, that's what I would do, right? I wouldn't stay and whine and complain. And if I was bitter or I didn't like what I see, I would just walk away. I would go find something else to do, to enjoy. Life is too short. We see people dying all around us. You know what I mean? Life is too short. So I choose not to complain. I choose not to whine. I choose not to be negative. I choose to be positive in everything that I do, right? Because that's what makes sense to me. So I will continue to do that. And on passive is my home.
Absolutely, Michael. Me too. Is mine too. Well said. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. And thank you for always plugging in. Thank you for the super sticker right there that Gaina is giving me. I appreciate you all for being here. Let's shake it off moving forward. All right. Take care, everyone. God bless.